Primetime local news, serving the Lakeland and Midwest regions.
Happy Thursday, everybody. Welcome to another edition of Primetime Local News. I'm filling in for Michaela tonight and a lot of exciting things going on in the show tonight, especially with your in Egg, because they honored Jerry Ritz last night. That was an amazing
that's
night.
all I gotta say. Wow, it was really an amazing evening there. So I stayed out at it just to see, 20 years as the MP for the area, Battlefords Lloydminster, and over 8 years as well as Federal Ag Minister, and touted as one of the best ever in the modern era.
It should be. Sounds like an amazing night. Can't wait to take a look at that. But right now, we're going to go take a look at Elise, who's got a look at your local news.
Thank you, Connor. We start tonight off with news of a structure fire in Unity, Saskatchewan. A high-capacity grain dryer at the Northwest Terminal in Unity caught fire around 7:15 this morning. Fire crews were on scene. Unity Fire and Rescue is asking drivers in the area not to stop on the highway as safety concern, and we will have more information when it becomes available. And the MS Society across Canada, including here in Lloydminster, are asking those affected by MS to fill out their latest survey.
I encourage everyone and anyone to fill it out that's connected with MS. The more voices, the better.
From now until October 19th, those affected by multiple sclerosis are invited to participate in listening to people affected by MS survey. Anyone affected by the disease, including patients, caregivers, or family of those affected, is invited to fill it out.
So the results of the survey are going to help to inform the strategic plan of the MS Society of Canada and our program services, research and advocacy.
The online survey covers basic demographics and connections to MS, as well as gaps in the services to those affected by it. Those who want to participate may find it on the support service tab on mssociety.ca. And the Nicole Collins Memorial Fund has donated nearly $30,000 to palliative care at the Lloydminster Hospital. Nicole Collins spent the last month of her life at the palliative care fighting cancer in 2016. On July 28th, the second annual golf tournament was hosted by Nicole Collins Memorial and raised more than $12,000. The money is going towards wider beds and more comfortable chairs that lay back into a bed and recliners.
Tremendous thank you to that family. The way Nicole passed away in her early 30s to brain cancer, that's extremely tough on everybody. Jeff and her daughter and obviously her parents and all her siblings. So to see them rally like this and put their grief towards a good cause and just pay it forward and help other families that are one day going to go through palliative care as well, I think it's just, I have a lot of respect for them. So tremendously thankful for their energy and their donations.
Donations to palliative care are always welcome, and you can donate by participating in the golf tournament. Other ways you can donate are online or stop by the hospital. And now we're going to toss it over to Brittany, who is at Fire Station number 2.
Fire Chief Jordan Newton joins me now, and it is Fire Prevention Week across North America, isn't that right?
Yes, correct. This week, always the week of October 9th, is Fire Prevention Week all across North America. It's a time for your local fire departments to spread the fire prevention message.
And now tonight, everyone's invited to come down, bring your kids and any adults as well if you want to come out and learn a little bit about fire safety and see the fire trucks from 6 p.m. until 8 p.m. What else is going to be going on tonight?
Yeah, so tonight is our annual open house at Fire Station 2. We have lots going on. It's great for the family, adults as well on their own. We're going to have lots of activities, not only the tour of the fire station and the trucks. We'll also be having some activities for kids. They'll be flowing water, using the fire hose to put out make-believe fires. As well, at 7 o'clock, we'll be doing a demonstration and cutting open a vehicle and showing our rescue capabilities here at the Lloydminster Fire Department.
And we'll also have some firefighters on hand if anybody has any questions.
Yeah, the whole department will be out here tonight. It's a great time for us to mingle with the community and learn about your local firefighters.
And now, how many firefighters do we have in the department?
Currently, we have 42 firefighters in total of the fire department.
And will there be a chance for the kids to, get inside the fire trucks?
Absolutely. We'll have kids in the fire trucks. Unfortunately, we won't be letting them drive today.
Not today. That's a shame. What about for myself?
We'll see.
All right, well, we're going to have more coming up down here from Fire Station 2. Festivities are getting underway at 6 p.m., so from 6 to 8 tonight, adults and kids can come down, learn a little bit about how to keep themselves safe and prevent fires from happening in our community. And we'll have more from Fire Chief Jordan Newton coming up a little bit later on. But right now, we're going to head back over to the studio and check in with Connor Chan to find out what's going on in the rest of this week's forecast.
It was a little bit of a cooler day today, of course, with those wind chills now in the morning. It's starting to feel more like the minuses. But right now, currently, we are sitting at 1 degree right now with those winds coming in. Actually, so take a look back quickly. Winds coming in south from 15 kilometers an hour with that visibility at 16.1. The records for this time of year, 24 degrees in 1991. That'd be kind of nice right now, and -9 back in 2012. You take a look at the satellite radar map. As we see over the next 24 hours, a little bit of cloud coverage as it's coming in from the west, heading in towards us here in Lloydminster, but nothing to really worry too much about. We will see some cloudy overnight tonight, and then eventually some rain into the mornings, and then snow will follow through with in the afternoon. And some watches and warnings, no real watches, as well as we take a look at some wind warnings over in the Provost area. So we're not in any effect here in the Lloydminster area, but those people down south are as well. If you take a look at the current temperatures right now, 5 in Whitecourt, 5 in Edmonton, 6 in Edson, 7 at Rocky Mountain House, 1 in Lloydminster, 3 in Cold Lake, 6 in Saskatoon and Prince Albert, 5 out in Melfort. If you take a look at the temperatures here in North Battleford, 1 degree currently right now with some cloudy skies, -4 overnight with that wind coming in from the southwest there. Tomorrow, some periods of rain, but a high there of 6 degrees. As we take a look at Cold Lake, 3 right now in there, over there, -1 overnight with some showers. Tomorrow, 3 degrees with some showers as well. And for us here in Lloydminster, 1 currently right now. Overnight, we will get some rain and at -3. And tomorrow, it'll be a rain and snow mix. So the rain will come more into the morning and the snow will come closer to the afternoon. Not too much snow, less than 3 centimeters. As we take a look at the next 3 days, 61% chance of some snow tomorrow for Friday, with a high of 4 and a low of -3. Tomorrow it will be cold, on Saturday rather, it will be cold at -1 and a low of -8. And Sunday +4 and a low of -9. We'll get more weather information for you later on in the show, but right now we're going to take a quick commercial break.
Welcome back, everyone. Well, Jerry Rich joked. He said he'd prepared a lengthy speech, but he didn't deliver it because he felt, well, he hadn't been roasted enough. Yet, he exhibited a common sense approach to governance, if not a no-nonsense approach. So in this week's Agricultural Report, I got to find out why his legacy is more than just the end of the Canadian Wheat Board.
Jerry was the first minister that I actually asked to come to my riding in Milton, Ontario, and I was very worried about the visit.
Lisa Raitt won the riding as Jerry Ritz delivered.
Jerry was so fortunate to have such dedicated volunteers. You're the backbone of our conservative movement across Canada.
And it was just so inspiring to me, also coming from a farming background, to see that if you work hard enough to make a difference or to make a change, that if you work hard enough and you work with other people, and like he said, you are one piece in the puzzle, you can't do everything by yourself.
Thanks also for being such a great mentor to me. You were elected in '97 and I in 2000, but I'll never forget the kind of guidance I got from you.
Lisa talked about what a tough scrapper Jerry was for agriculture, for Saskatchewan, for the West. He was relentless, but Jerry, he brought the country to the cabinet table. I mean, he brought rural common sense.
He was, in fact, the longest-serving agriculture minister in modern history. I came to rely on Jerry's consistent hard work and sound advice in our years of collaboration together, and I know that Canada's farmers and workers in our agri-food industry have never had a better advocate.
Then it was the turn of the lady who has replaced Ritz in this riding.
As a member of Parliament and as the Minister of Agriculture, and as a member of the Harper Conservative government, Jerry had many accomplishments. He was a constant advocate and voice for our communities and our Saskatchewan way of life. He helped open and expand Canada's access to international markets, And of course, he brought an end to the Canadian weak board monopoly. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome Jerry Ritz.
Bureaucrats in Ottawa, and a lot of them are still good friends of mine, but they play a role that's somewhere between referee and protagonist, and I'm not sure which one they're good at. But at the end of the day, when I brought industry in and sat them down with the bureaucrats and said, we're going to change everything we do to be results-driven, not process-driven. Every bureaucrat loves a 5-year program with an extension. I want it done in 5 months.
And therein lies his ag business common sense, let's get her done approach.
A fitting tribute for our ag minister of many years. Jerry's term was not without controversy, but he was an effective minister that got things done.
This Ag Report is brought to you by the Lloydminster Co-op Agro Centre. Depend on them for product, tools, and expert advice. Shop at your local Lloyd Co-op Agro Centre with branch locations in Lashburn and Neilburg.
And just before Elise comes in with a look at sports, let's check those agriculture prices.
City Center Auto Body is proud to offer the paintless dent removal system. This works by going behind the panel, working out small dents. Lloydminster's trusted auto body shop for over 35 years.
As we take a look at sports now, the Lloydminster Bobcats fell short this afternoon against the Sherwood Park Crusaders, losing 4-2. The Cats managed just 21 shots to the Crusaders' 41, with only 3 shots in the third period. Lloydminster will have a chance to respond when they host the Bonnyville Pontiacs tomorrow evening at the Civic Center. The Pontiacs currently sit atop the AJHL standings. The game starts at 7:30. And tomorrow evening, week 1 of the 2018-2019 ACAC basketball and volleyball season kicks off, with Lakeland's women's volleyball beginning their conference title defense in Grand Prairie. As Josh Ryan explains, this group is brimming with talent and experience and is eager for the opportunity for a compete for a national championship once again.
After a solid preseason, steady training, and anticipation that's grown since the end of the 2018 campaign, the Lakeland Rustlers are ready for a second straight ACAC title defense.
We want to be the team that we were last year, like not necessarily our record and everything, but all of the way we interacted with each other and stuff.
That's a confident, experienced group taking the court this weekend, whose leaders have a more patient approach to the season.
I think we're just taking it each weekend at a time, because last year I feel like we were focused on the end, and now we just want to make sure we're enjoying each moment as we're going.
The Rustlers fell short of that end they were shooting for, as VIU, the team they stunned in 2017 on their way to a national title, returned the favor in a 3-0 blowout. The feeling from losing that match has fueled the squad ever since.
Knowing what we did last year and the feeling of our semifinal, like we kind of know that we don't ever want to feel like that, and we know what that was like. So just pushing through that every day and just knowing that anytime like a team can challenge us, so we can't lay back.
Challenges are more likely to occur this season, with league-wide parity expected to reach a level the ACAC hasn't seen in years.
I think things are going to be tight in the north, maybe kind of split in half. But it's still going to be, for sure, it's going to be tighter, and then I think things are going to be real tight in the south.
And the Rustlers are well equipped to take on all comers, with arguably the deepest and most experienced lineup in the conference.
We do a lot of split squad, but even when we go into our A side and our B side, like they always push us, and we all push each other every day. Rustlers.
Josh Ryan, Primetime Local Sports.
And Friday evening marks the end of the Wheatland Football League regular season, with Lloydminster High Schools in action. The Barons try to remain perfect as they host Cold Lake at Armstrong Field after a tough contest against Bonnyville, while those same Voyagers take on the visiting Holy Rosary Raiders. Holy is third in their 3 provincial rankings, while Lloyd Comp sits at a top tier 2. Kickoff is at 7 for the Barons and 6 for the Raiders. And now we head back to Brittany, who is at the Fire Hall number 2.
Fire Chief Jordan Newton joins me again, and we are talking about fire prevention and how to keep you and your family safe. So what are some things that families should be looking at in order to keep themselves safe from fire hazards?
Well, there's lots of things families can do. This year's fire prevention campaign message is, it's a simple one. It's look, listen, and learn. It's a simple message, the look. Look for common fire hazards around your home. Be careful and mindful of what you're doing, you know, when it comes to cooking and everything like that. You know, we're not into Christmas season yet, but as we approach Christmas season, there's a lot of important safety tips there. The listen is listen for smoke alarms going off, teaching children what smoke alarms sound like and then what to do in the case of a smoke alarm being activated. And the learn is learning 2 ways out of your home. It's important to have a home fire safety plan with your children and understanding that they need to know where to go if the smoke alarm does go off, and heaven forbid if there's ever a fire, and where to meet with their parents.
And how often should you be testing your smoke alarm?
Lloydminster Fire Department recommends once a month. Sometimes we know that's not always reasonable and comes to back of mind, but try and do it as much as you can. Sometimes smoke alarms do get activated when Dad does some cooking, but yeah, just making sure they work.
And so tonight you are welcome to come down. They are having the open house here tonight from 6 until 8 p.m. They'll have the fire trucks out and some different demonstrations as well. They have some great little pamphlets and stuff you can pick up for the kids. And inside there's actually, you can do some drawings of how to figure out a fire safety plan. And they've got some checklists inside as well about testing that about testing your smoke detector every month. So lots of great stuff to pick up here for the kids and adults as well if they want to come out and see the fire trucks. So we're going to have a little bit more coming up from Fire Chief Jordan Newton later on in the show. But right now we're going to head back over to the studio and check in with Connor Chan to find out what the weather's going to be like this weekend.
All right, thanks very much, Brittany. And right now, as we take a look at our photo of the day, very gorgeous, of course, probably from the snow that we had this past weekend. This was sent in by Aaron. If you have any photos that you would like for us to showcase about the weather, showing the beauty of Lloydminster, send them to tvnews@newcap.ca. We'll be happy to show them. As we take a look at the next couple, look at the weekend, as my board seems to be stuck, and it's still stuck. As I did mention earlier, there are some rain and snow mix heading into tomorrow. As we take a look right now, as I try to get this back on track here, because the computer does not seem to be cooperating with me, we are going to be experiencing some rain snow mix as we take a look into the next little bit here. Tomorrow overnight we're going to get some cloudy periods at -1. As I try to still get this underway out of control, we will have some periods of rain overnight, so more like 0 and -1 degrees with the wind chill. It will feel more like -6 and -5, and then heading into the afternoon tomorrow, it will be more periods of +2 rather, but there will be periods of snow, but there won't be a lot of that snow. It'll be just less than 2 centimeters. But right now we're going to take a quick commercial break.
Fire Chief Jordan Newton joins me again, and we are just 20 minutes away from the open house starting here at Fire Station 2, and I just saw outside another fire truck pulling up. How many trucks are going to be here tonight?
Yeah, we'll have 4 of our big trucks here to show off to our community.
That's awesome. And what are people going to be able to get right inside the trucks?
Oh, absolutely. We're going to have lots of activities for the whole family here at Fire Station 2. That's over near the college. Starting at 6 p.m., come on down, get in the fire trucks, look all around them, meet your local fire department, and have some fun.
So it's also for both kids and adults. It's very important to remember adults should come along as well. And we're going to be talking a little bit about with the firefighters about fire prevention.
Absolutely. There is a lot of fun here tonight, but we will be spreading some fire prevention messages throughout.
And now, will you be demonstrating yourself how you use the fire hose to put out fires?
I don't know if I'll be doing it, but maybe a news reporter can talk me into it.
Did you hear that, everyone at home? Later on in the show, I might just get to use the fire hose. Hopefully we can get Fire Chief Jordan Newton to also demonstrate, because I think he's got a lot of experience. But right now, we're just going to head back over to the studio and check in with Connor to find out what's going on in our social media trends.
back, everybody. Take a look at some social media trends. Our question of the day, Gerard.
Yeah.
Do you tip? And this is a pretty...
Of course.
Yes, you tip.
Why is this a question?
Well, there are people out there that don't tip, and there's reasons why. Maybe their food was undercooked, or people just are grumpy and whatnot, or they just didn't like the service. But there are a lot of reasons. I mean, it's not... I mean, for you,
well, if you don't like the service, maybe those are the valid reasons, kind of thing. But on the average, most servers, you were a server one time.
Well, I was a expo, so I made sure the food got out on time, so I made the servers look good.
Yeah, so. And I as well, I had my days of doing my service. I worked at a couple fast food outlets as well, and yeah, tipping is...
It's very important.
Yeah.
It's just a custom thing. Like at least 15% is the norm.
Yeah. Now, what kind of comments did folks have today?
Most said that they should tip, but also depends on the service. And then also too, you got to take in factors like maybe the food was late. But that again, that's not really the server's control. It's more of the kitchen. But again, everyone's got their own opinion. But
yeah. No, well, I mean, on the average, if you're saying things like the food was late and stuff like that, well, then that brings the level of service into question, so you can understand. But on the average, if you go to a restaurant or you get some service and so on, and things are above board, you tip.
Well, exactly. Tip regardless. Well, it's time for the Pet of the Day segment, which is one of our favorites here at Primetime Local News. We take a look at some of the pets right here. This is Hazel, sent in by Chelsea, and the quote underneath from Snapchat was, "If it fits, it sits." So that was a very cute cat there. As we take a look at our next pet, Kenna, submitted by Debbie. Kenna's just sniffing the flowers. This is before all that snow was hitting the ground, but nonetheless a great photo. And our next one, look at this, Diesel and Hank, two little puppers, sent in by Barb. Thank you for that, Barb. And look at Pebbles sitting in the dishwasher, ready to lend a hand. She's got a little onesie on. She's ready to lend a hand. And I think one of the cutest ones of the day is our final one, and that is Mela. This was sent in by Tara. This is a little kitten there. And just thanks for everyone who sent those in. If your pet was on here, you are entered into our draw for a Pet Pad gift card, which will be given out tomorrow on the show. But right now, we're going to take a quick commercial break.
We want to see your pets. Send photos of your pet and their name to our Facebook, Twitter, or Instagram to have them featured on Pet of the Day. Your name will be entered into a weekly draw for a gift certificate from the Pet Pad.
Furniture set and design supplied by Furniture Gallery and Furniture House, downtown Lloydminster.
Renee Weinkoff from World Class Gym here in Lloydminster joins me now in studio to talk for this week's health panel, and we are talking about those pesky little Halloween treats. They are tasty and delicious, but they do come packed full of calories, and they can be dangerous for anyone's waistline. So Renee, tell me, we were talking off camera that some of those Halloween treats can carry up to 120 calories?
Yeah, anywhere from 60 to 120 calories in those what they call the snack size candies for Halloween candies are all packed with calories.
And lots of sugar with them, and that can be really detrimental if you are looking to maintain or lose some weight.
That's correct, yeah.
And so when we're indulging in them, is there any strategies that you try to tell to some of your clients as to ways to try to avoid curbing and binging?
Well, it's kind of funny because I'm not good on this subject because I totally believe in Halloween. No matter what, I live on that 80-20 rule where you got to eat healthy 80% of the time, 20% of the time you're allowed to cheat. So I have to say on Halloween, my advice is to take Halloween as your cheat meal, and that's it. I ain't gonna say don't eat chocolate bars and don't have fun, because the dressing up, the trick-or-treating, the kids at the door, all the smiles on their faces, and the family should love that. So I'm not gonna tell you not to eat it. I'm just not. I know a lot of people are like, oh, but you're Mr. Nutrition, you should be anti this. Opposite, 100%. It's the same as Christmas. I take that as your cheat meals and have fun.
So indulge, enjoy the holiday season, but then maybe after that day, go back to that 80-20 rule?
Exactly. Like I said, just for that week, take that as your cheat day. But when you are eating, just think about if you're to compare what it takes to work off that little chocolate bar, on a comparison, some people are better at burning calories than the others, so don't be like, hey, I burn more calories than that. But on average, it would take you about 10 minutes, say of jumping jacks, about 10 minutes of jumping jacks straight to burn off one of those little bars or one of those little candies. So are you willing to do jumping jacks for 10 minutes straight to burn off one bar? And just who sits and has one bar?
That's
right?
true.
So it's a tough one.
Yeah, that's definitely something to consider, is how long is it going to take you to burn that off if you're all of a sudden sitting in a pile of wrappers afterwards.
Exactly.
We've all been there. What are some simple activities you could do during your day to try to burn some of those things off?
Right, well, number one, get off your butts and go trick-or-treating with your children or your friends' children or your nephews, nieces, any family members. Get out there and do that with them. That's what they say. The best way to burn calories for that day is do it having fun with the holiday.
So you heard it here first. Still indulge in that Halloween candy. Enjoy the time with your kids and the holiday. But remember that 80-20 rule. And the best way that's going to be to burn off some Halloween candy this Halloween is to get out there with your kids, take them trick-or-treating, and enjoy the walk as they'll burn off those calories. Thanks so much for joining us today, Renee, and sharing all of that information with us.
All right, taking a look at the North Battlefords. Currently, right now, they're sitting at 1 degrees. They take a look overnight, -4, with those winds coming in from the south-southwest. Tomorrow, they're heading into a nice 6, though they will have some cloud coverage and some showers. Cold Lake, 3 degrees currently. Overnight, they will get -1. And tomorrow, 3 degrees with showers as well. For us here in the border city, as it will, there we go, 0 currently right now. Overnight, some cloud coverage and -3 with some rain. Tomorrow, 6 and a +6 with some rain, snow mix. Take a look at the next 7 days really quickly. -1 Saturday, 4 on Sunday, 8 on Monday with cloud coverage, 10 on Tuesday with minimal cloud coverage, 14 on Wednesday, and Thursday is where it's going to be all sun and no clouds there with that high of 10 and low of 1 as we take a look at that was the next 7 days. But let's send it back to Brittany, who's over at fire station number 2.
That's a wrap for us down here at Fire Station 2. However, the open house is going on until 8 p.m. and as you can see with the crowd of people that are just behind me, they're actually just cutting open a car right now with the Jaws of Life. So hurry down to bring the kids out, see the fire trucks, and find out a few ways that you can prevent fires in your home. Now tomorrow I'm going to be at Cheer Legacy. We're going to be checking out some of their family stunt night that's going on beginning at 6 p.m. and we will have some pre-coverage before that, finding out about some of the programs and different activities they have going on there. But right now we're going to head back over to the studio and check in with them.
All right, thanks very much, Brittany. And that's Jaws of Life demonstration. I've seen a couple of those.
Yeah.
That's really impressive. I don't know if you've seen any in your time
I've seen some as well, and you know, it's just you got to be in awe in terms of that profession overall. There, that firefighters, first responders, and so on. They put out so much, and I know as well. This week was mental health day,
yeah,
World
mental health awareness day, yeah.
And you know, so many folks who talk about burnout and those kinds of things, but. Hats off to all of those who serve in whatever various capacities. And yeah, if you've got some time this evening, go down there with the kids.
Yeah, it'll definitely be a fun time. Of course, I have a friend who is an EMT, and hearing all the stories that he goes through, seeing what he sees, again, that's something I don't think I could ever do. I respect what he does and everyone out there that are first responders, because that's a profession you need to really have thick skin for it. You need to be tough for that, for sure.
Because you see a whole lot of things. You're the first one on the scene. You think of what first responders would have seen, for instance, in the Humboldt situation.
Yeah, absolutely.
There.
I can't imagine what those guys, especially the doctors afterwards. But,
Mm-hmm.
well, that's going to do it for us here tonight, folks. Thanks so much for watching. Have yourselves a great night.